zombie games. If there's a zombie in a game, I'll be playing it one way or the other. Whether I buy it myself, receive it as a review copy, or play it at a friend's, zombie in a game means me play. Now, there's been good and bad ones out there, so I do enter any zombie game with a lot of trepidation, but I'm always in for at least one play. So the game I'm looking at today is Eeden by Zombies by Mayday Games. It is a 2 to 4 player game, and it's a deck building game. Now, I've had a sort of checkered past with deck building games. I did like Dominion when it first came out. That was my first deck building game, and I think I overplayed that because since playing that, I've played numerous other deck building style games, and I'd say that I've liked to not really liked most of them. There hasn't been a real mega hit that I've played that was a core deck building game. I mean, I did review Couriers a while back, and yeah, it was a building game, but it was a dice building game, so totally different story. So will the addition of zombies to a genre of game that I'm not that big of a fan of make the difference? Well, let's see. This is a deck building game for anyone familiar with that genre. Basically, each player has a draw deck. They have a starting set of cards, which are usually hidden, but they're open for demonstration purposes. And the idea is that you'll keep discarding cards into your discard pile and draw new cards, and whenever your draw pile is empty, you shuffle up your discard pile and make a new draw deck and keep going like that. So what you're doing each turn is you are encountering zombies which come from the zombie deck. And so the first zombie that's going to be encountered by player 1 is this guy here. And the information on this card is the zombie's level, which is basically its hit points, and the attrition, which is basically what you need to run away from it. So player 1 is going to look at their cards, and they're going to decide from this if they're going to fight or flee. Well, the symbols that you see here mean a couple of different things. So this symbol here represents the fight that you can bring to the table. These symbols represent your flee, and these symbols represent additional cards you can draw when you play. So, as I mentioned before, this zombie has 4 hit points, so you need more than 4 to defeat it. Or its attrition is 2, which means that you have to have 2 flee or more in order to run away from it. Well, based on this and this player's hand, obviously I'm going to flee. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play 1, 2, 3. And so that's 3 flee, which beats that attrition of 2. So I discard those. And hooray, I got away from the zombie. So what this means is I now have those 3 points to spend on any of the items up here, any combination that I can afford. So for 3, I'm going to grab myself a good book. And the trick to this is any items that you buy go directly into your hand, and you can't have more than 6 cards in your hand at a time. Even though I was able to successfully run away from the zombie, there are still consequences. The attrition value of the zombie is 2, and what this means is if you successfully run away from it, you lose items from your hand or your deck equal to half the attrition. And so losing a card means that I have to choose a card which I'm going to permanently lose from here or from the top of this deck. And just to play it safe, I'm just going to choose something that I can see. So I'm going to permanently lose this heavy stick, which will go up into this center of the table where it can be purchased by other players in the future. I now discard the most recent zombie, which in this case there's only 1, so it gets discarded. I refill my hand back up to 6. 1, 2, 3. And now it's player 2's turn. Player 2 turns over a zombie for their turn. And this one is a level 2 zombie with an attrition of 4. So looking at this hand, we can see that he has more than enough attack to fight the zombie and not enough flee. So what he'll do is we'll put down these 4 to represent that we're attacking the zombie, but we're also going to play this card, not as a flee, but as the one special draw 1 extra card. So I play that, draw 1 more card to my hand, and what do you know? It's another attack which I can use to attack the zombie. Now, even though I already killed him, I'm going to add additionals to have more money to spend on cards. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 value in order to spend on any combination of cards here. And so what I'll do is I'll actually just grab a shotgun. And the value for that was 5, so it goes into my hand. These cards get discarded. And because I killed the zombie, this actually goes into my discard pile as well. And to finish up the turn, I just refill my hand back up to 6. Here's one more player 1 example. So again, you draw a zombie right off the bat. This one is a level 1, and it has an attrition of 4. Looking at this hand, I can see that I have enough fight in order to defeat the zombie. So I will play these 3. So that's 3 points. Zombie goes down, and I have 3 points to spend up here. So I'm going to buy back this heavy stick that I lost earlier, and I'll also buy some binoculars for 3 points total. So the cleanup, I can see I have 5 cards, so I just add a 6th, and that's my turn. So now I'd like to demonstrate a failure hand. So for player 2, I'm going to have them draw their zombie for the turn. So this is a level 8 zombie with 1 attrition or flee. So player 2, looking at their hand, you can see that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks, and they also have a zombie card in their hand. And a zombie card is basically a filler. It's of little use, and you can't normally discard it, even if you have to lose it to attrition. So there's no way that player 2 can win this fight, and so he basically has to face the full attrition value of whatever zombie. And in this case, fortunately, it's only discard 1 card. And so player 2 gets to make the choice. Discard it from his hand, but he can't discard a zombie or take the face-up card from here. And so I'm going to have him gamble and take this face-up card. And oop, it's actually a zombie from a previous round. Zombies can't be ridden of, so it just goes to the player's discard pile. So we're just going to draw another card in its place, and it's one of player 2's hides, and it just gets discarded to the center of the table. The only way to legitimately get rid of zombies is on another player's turn. So let's say that player 1 is going to start the turn, and so we draw a zombie card for them. Now at this point, every other player at the table, going counterclockwise, can add a zombie from their hand to this zombie horde. And so here I'll have player 2 add the zombie that was in their hand. And so what's going to happen here is now this player is fighting everyone at once. And so he fights them one at a time, the closest to him being the rightmost one. And he can defeat this one and then try to move on to the next. But if he doesn't defeat them all, then he will have failed this encounter. Now, if he tries to run away, unfortunately, it's the combined value. So he has to have a flee of 8 or more. And if he fails that, he's going to lose 8 cards. So the game goes back and forth like this until one of the ending conditions is met. The most basic one, which you'll see most often, is if any player is unable to draw more cards into their hand, and that even means like taking this discard pile, shuffling it back into your draw pile, and if you still don't have enough cards to get back up to 6, then that's it. You become a zombie and you lose. So in a 2-player game, that's an instant win/loss. In a 4-player game, all but one person has to survive. And there's actually special rules for what you do when you become a zombie, but I won't get into those here. Another way the game ends is if at any point a player has all zombie cards in their hands, all 6, then that means that all the humans lose. They went insane because there's so many zombies out there, and all the players who are zombies get a shared victory. And the other way that the game can end, which I've never even seen it come close to happening, is if at any point all of the zombie cards have been depleted, and even the zombie discards, which will get reshuffled in whenever it's empty, when all those are gone, then the players who are still alive will get a shared win, but I'm telling you, I don't think that will ever happen. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so what did I think about this game? I like it. I like it a lot. It restores my faith in deck building for the moment. This is a quick and harsh game. It is hard. The average game I've played lasts 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm not sure if I made it clear in my rules explanation, but the point of the game is to be the last person standing. So that means the whole drive of this game is the game is trying to do whatever it can to get you killed. And it does it fast, it's swift, I like it. I like challenges in my game, and that is what keeps me coming back to this time and time again. I want to fight the system, and I want to eke out those couple extra turns that I wasn't able to the previous games. I like it a lot. Now, it's not the perfect game, and I gotta stress this. I don't think that this is going to appeal to people who aren't into the whole zombie vibe or jive or whatever. I love zombies, and I can get right into the mechanics. The mechanics of this game and the deck building speak volumes about the whole zombie world. It's like you're struggling to find resources, you're fighting for your life, and you're losing supplies as you're fighting, and you're just getting away by the skin of your teeth, and it just keeps going and going and going until bloop, you're gone. And yeah, I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm in the zombie world. So if you're not a zombie fan, I gotta tell you, stay away from this. It's not for you. It's for me. As for cons for this game, I did actually have a bit of problems with the rules. I don't know if it's because I'm a stupid person or whatever, but whether you win or lose a zombie fight or win or lose a flee action, there's always this one extra nuance to each of those steps that you have to remember. And I actually had to make a little flowchart for myself to keep this all straight. And then, after successive plays, I was able to finally get it straight in my head. But when I was first learning it, it was definitely something to overcome. Going back to my pros list, I really like the artwork in this game. It has this very retro-ish, 50-ish atmosphere to it, and I'm not even sure if it's intentional, because I went through all the cards and there's nothing that directly tells me it's from that era. It's just, I don't know, I just get this feeling from it. So if I'm way off, I'm really sorry to the developer or to the artist. Just that's what I sort of get. Oh, one more thing that I wanted to mention about this is the way the game handles player elimination. So as I mentioned before, the object of the game is for everyone to get eliminated until there's one person left. But what happens is when you lose all your cards and become a zombie, you actually get to keep playing. You actually get to keep trying to hinder the other players and add to a zombie threat meter. Now, in theory, this sounds good, just I've never actually gotten to do this yet, because in all the games that I've played, what happens is when one player goes down, typically everyone else, or at least some combination of the players in the current round, also go down, which leaves one player left alive, and they win. So I like the idea, it's never happened. Another thing that I really like about this game is I love the how compact everything is. So if you look at this, let's look at it here. If you look at this box here, you can see that everything is nice and neatly laid out. There's actually foam inserts to make sure that everything stays in here, and I'm sure there's expansion potential here, which I actually look forward to. So what do I think? Well, I think I pretty much covered it. I like it. But yeah, you gotta steer it clear from people who aren't into the zombie thing. I don't think it really matters your feelings about deck building, because this has a very unique feel to it. Yeah, just there's always this heaviness on you that, I'm just trying to scratch my way through to survive, and it really appeals to me. Oh, and the variability of this is a key factor. Much like other deck building games, it allows you to only use a certain amount of the cards each play, and then you get to either randomly choose ones later, or actually the instruction book, this handy little guide here, in the very back, it actually has a number of pre-built setups with different minor themes to them. So you can follow through those if you aren't really comfortable with completely random setups. So yeah, good game. I like it. Recommended, and I hope to see more of games like this. Theme means a lot to me, and well, zombies take the cake. Thanks.